What's going on, beautiful people? Daniel Meddy are in the building. And today, with another topic, how to heal emotionally from divorce or a breakup. You know, it sucks. It really does. And many people lose their identity in the relationship. So afterwards, when the breakup comes, they completely lost their identity. They don't really know who they are. They don't know what to do. They don't know what should they focus on. Their reality just collapsed. There are 7 different steps, what we're going to go through, that will allow you and teach you how to heal from this pain, so you can put end to it once and forever. But before I start, you can find my services at dmprotrainer.com. You can join my 1, 3, and a 6-month coaching program that is focused on human relationships and also fitness. You know, I've been in the fitness game for the past 12 years, thousands of clients trained, and I've been also working with the people on the topic of relationship and finances, just not in English language. So now it's time to upgrade and actually add that to our arsenal. That's why the content will be focused on human relationships, psychology, brain, process and emotions, etc. So when you're trying to get a good beef, guys, grass-fed, grass-finished, American-raised from Utah and Texas, you can place your order at dmbeef.com. It's also my beef company. We ship nationwide to all 52 states. And if you guys want to build your own meal plan based on my tactics, I published a book called Weight Loss Without Plateau. You can find it on Amazon. Again, it's Weight Loss Without Plateau. And I explain in detail everything about human metabolism and calorie cycling method that I've been using for, you know, thousands of clients that have successfully lost weight and transformed their bodies. By that being said, let's get to today's lesson and today's topic, which will be emotional healing from a divorce or breakup. It's a sad situation because a lot of people, they still love attached. You get to the point of your life where you learn that attached love is just failed technology. It doesn't work. You can't be attached to another human being. And you're quickly going to realize that 2 words, such as forever and life, they don't really bond well. You shouldn't really use them in the same sentence, okay? Stoics have been talking about it thousands of years ago. But it really looks like, to me in practice, that you have to get to that point in your life by yourself so you can actually understand it. One thing is hearing it. The second thing is going through it and realize it's true. So by you watching this video, you already understand that this is how it's supposed to be. You cannot love attached. You can't be toxically attached. You always have to be ready to walk alone on your mission if you have to. Now listen, it's always beautiful when you have a person next to you and when you have a person who loves you, but if that person is gone, your life doesn't collapse. They just leave your mission and you continue the same path on your own. That's how you're going to actually preserve your own identity. So let's get to it in 7 steps. Step number 1 to heal from the pain is to allow the pain without resistance. Psychologically, suppressed emotions prolong suffering. A lot of people resist the emotions because it's just easier. Like, you can't just postpone the emotions. And emotions are going to be all kinds of emotions. It really depends on the situation. If you've been betrayed, you might feel a lot of anger, a lot of jealousy. You might be envy. And then you're going to be sad. And then you're going to be motivated for the 3rd or 4th day. Then you're going to be sad or angry again. It doesn't matter. It's a cocktail of emotions that you have to allow to go through your body. Okay, don't resist any emotion. If you're driving on a highway and you get anxiety, really tightness in your chest, and you feel horrible, just pull up somewhere in a parking lot, do what you gotta do. If you're angry, just bitch into the steering wheel. Say everything you gotta say out loud. You're gonna feel better. You're by yourself, remember. Nobody is there to judge you. Now, if you're sad, cry. Go for it. Get the emotion out. Allow the emotions to go through your body in that moment. You're going to feel much better. That's the healing process. And it's going to be repetitive, hundreds and hundreds of times until you're completely out of it. Usually it's about 25 to 20% of the lasting of the relationship that is going to take you to heal from it. So for example, if you've been in a marriage for the 10 years, it's usually about 2 to 2.5 years until you're completely healed. So just get ready for it. The emotions will be coming and going. Allow them to go through. Spiritually, resistance blocks healing. Let grief, anger, and sadness arise without judgment. Pain acknowledged is pain that can move. Okay? So if you let the pain flow through the body, you're actually allowing yourself to come to peace with all the emotions. And as the time passes, these emotions will be less and less intense. And there's also a reason why, from your nervous system perspective, we're going to go through this, of course, biological perspective. This is not just spiritual and psychological, it's also biological. Because the pain and the emotions that you feel are affected by the hormones that your body is producing. The adrenaline, you got the cortisol right there that's peaking, you got the epinephrine, the norepinephrine, etc. So there's actually neurological reasons why you want to have the pain to flow through your body. Now, step number 2 is detach from the story. The mind replays narratives, what if, why. Psychologically, this reinforces rumination. Spiritually, it binds you to the past. Observe thoughts without identifying with them. So here is where you become a little surgeon of this situation, okay? So you got to literally, metaphorically speaking, you step outside of your body, and from a 3D perspective, you look at the situation as like a small surgeon, you analyze the situation, everything that happened, okay? And you learn from it. Forget about the questions, why did this happen? What if I did this? What if I did that? Stop looking for answers. The step number 1 to heal from the pain is to accept it and look for the meaning, not the answers. You're living in the alpha dimension, which means that this dimension is the hardest because you cannot influence the future or the past. You can only live in the present moment. So whatever happened in the past, it's in the past. So the questions like what if is not going to help you, okay? Look for the meaning. So again, now you're in this 3D perspective, analyzing the situation and learning from it. Why did this person lost feelings for me? Because remember, people who have a good masculine feminine polarity, respect, attraction, and last, love, they don't leave each other. So what happened? Where was the polarity broken? Where did she lose or did he lose respect for me? Where did I stop becoming attractive to this person or that person to me, etc.? Analyze the situation and learn from it. Look for the meaning. Number 3, restore personal identity. That's the biggest problem that people have. They lose their personal identity in the relationship. Breakups fracture identity, rebuild self-definition through routines, values, and goals. Spiritually, remember you're whole independent of attachment. That's the biggest problem. People step into the relationship and they transform their identity. All of a sudden, they became a couple instead of being them, part of another human's life. Like you preserve your own identity. Your nervous system remembers who you were when you were single. So you just go back to the patterns that you used to follow. Some people used to party and drink all the time. And after a breakup, they're immediately partying and drinking. Why? Because their nervous system, it switches the flip back to what they used to be. And they just do things as they used to when they were single before. That's how simple it is, okay? So your nervous system remembers the activities you've liked, whether you were a swimmer, you used to work out a lot more, etc. You're going to reconnect with your old self, right there. And you have to practice these habits that you used to do as the single guy. You have to reconnect with your purpose and reconnect with your mission. And then you have to build a strong, powerful walls around this mission, and nobody can interrupt it. If somebody joins you on your path in the future, they're welcome to join, but they're not going to destroy it, and they're not going to change it. A lot of people even change their behavior in the relationship. A lot of people even change the way they speak, the way they joke around their partner, just so they can, fit within the partner's limitations. Because if you have a woman who thinks you're not funny, and then every time you joke, she's like, oh my God, that was ridiculous. Like, this is not funny at all. Then you will start slowly transferring or changing your behavior and your humor so it fits her well. And so you don't look ridiculous or awkward, right? And this is where you're losing the identity. This is the loss of identity, literally live stream. And you have to watch out for this, because as soon as you're going to start losing the identity, you're going to collapse after the relationship is over, because you're not going to know who you were. So most importantly is you always got to be yourself, always. The way you joke, what you do, the hobbies you do, you don't stop doing that for a partner. Now, number 4, regulate the nervous system. Healing requires safety, use movement, breath work, nature, and sleep to calm the stress response. A regulated body allows emotional processing. So it is very well known that as soon as the emotions are very intense and high, breath work is helping. Huge inhale, huge exhale, repeated over and over and over. This is going to calm down the nervous system, and it will stop pumping the stress hormones into the system. So you can actually start feeling better. When you want to change the state of your mind, you got to change the state of your body. So cold shower, cold plunge is going to help you big time. When you're cold, you have a new problem. You're cold. So you don't really have time to think about something sad. Change the state of the body. Start running, start working out, start boxing, breath work, cold, etc. Okay, this is really going to help you to balance out the hormones in your nervous system. And then also, the regulated body allows you to process emotions, okay? When the body is tense and contracted, you can't really let the emotions flow through. You have to be fully relaxed and accept these emotions and have them literally flow through your body from head to your toes. Just accept it. You're becoming literally like a router of the emotions, and you just let them flow through. And the more often you let it happen, every single time the emotion comes, the more quickly you're going to heal. Now, the step number 5 is find meaning, no blame. Psychologically, meaning accelerates recovery. Spiritually, every ending carries instructions. So if you find a meaning and you actually look at the relationship, what did it teach you? Like, for example, you let this person cross your boundaries and they lost respect for you. Well, next time, in the next relationship, you will certainly not allow any human being to cross your boundaries. You're going to stand your ground. You're going to be more masculine. You're going to do things that are actually attractive to women or opposite to men. Doesn't really matter. So you analyze it and you find meaning. And when you have the meaning, your brain actually has a story that makes sense. Brain hates unresolved situations. So in the meaning, you're going to find a story. As soon as there is a story that makes sense, the brain can calm down and stop triggering your nervous system to produce all these stressful responses. So in the meaning, you're going to find a story. And then ask what the relationship revealed about your needs and boundaries. Very important. You also have to analyze yourself. Where did I go wrong? How could I let this happen? Okay? And then you look for the meaning. Why did I allow this person, to cheat on me? Or what led to them, or what led them to cheat on me? Well, for example, the woman was not heard and understood for a long time. Then she wasn't seduced. I completely ignored her. Well, here's the result. And then you go back in a relationship and you start looking for the times and periods where the woman started emotionally detaching from you and actually started looking for the replacement, because the signs were there. I promise you, the signs were there 100%. If you go on a phone call with me, I'm gonna find them for you. So women don't cheat just like that. Men do more often. But you got to find the meaning and analyze yourself, okay? And actually realize and understand that where your boundaries were crossed, or where did your behavior lead towards this end? How did you support the breakup or the divorce? Now, the step number 6 is practice conscious release. Forgiveness is not approval, it is detachment. Forgiven doesn't mean that you agree. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you agree with everything what happened or everything your wife said or your husband said. No. Forgiveness is detachment. It's like, I'm out. Whatever. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever happened, happened. I mean, it doesn't affect me anymore. You emotionally detach from the situation. That's when you come to peace. And from the place of peace, you can actually forgive. And when you forgive, it doesn't mean that you agree with everything. It is whatever. You finally got to the emotional state where you don't have that intense emotional response every single time you think about it. That's what the forgiveness means. Release energetic and emotional ties through reflection, writing, or rituals. Let go without erasing the lessons. So the lessons will always be with you, and the lessons will actually find place in your body, and the whole relationship or the marriage is going to find place in your body. It's never going to leave you. It's always going to be part of you, with the difference that now it's going to live within your body in a peace and harmony. It's not going to trigger your nervous system to produce all these stressful hormones and change your emotional state. It's actually just that experience is going to sit within and be perfectly fine. Now, a lot of people like journaling, writing, rituals. For example, every single day, when you have really, really high emotions, it's usually, about 2-3 weeks in no contact, you write down everything that you feel and then you burn it every night. You burn the paper in your backyard. That's how simple it is. That's the ritual, and you repeat it every single day. A lot of people do that. Or when you're by yourself, you just say out loud whatever you feel. You say out loud what you wanted to say to that person. Or what would you say in this moment to that person? Say it out loud. Let it go out. Rituals, we got the reflection, write in reflection we already went through. You analyze yourself. How did I support this breakup? Why did this happen? What was my part in the game? Etc. Now, the last step, the step number 7, is to reopen to life intentionally. Healing completes when you re-engage with the purpose. Okay, and this is what I see the most people do wrong. They completely lose their purpose. Just like they enter a relationship and their life changed. That's the problem. When you enter the relationship, your life doesn't change at all. You go to the gym at the same time you used to go to the gym. You do whatever you did before. You work the same job. You're on the same mission. You don't change your life for the relationship. If this doesn't make sense to you, come back later in a couple of years. When somebody blows up a nuclear weapon on your head, you're going to understand what I'm saying. You don't change your mission or your life just because you accepted the partner in your life. It's just simply they're a part of your life from now on. They're not changing your life. That's how you actually preserve your identity. And when the breakup or divorce happens, it's not going to break you. You're not going to find yourself crying on your knees. It's going to suck. Yeah, I know. Like every single breakup or detachment is going to suck. However, you're still going to continue in the same lifestyle as you did. So you have to reopen back to life intentionally. When the relationship is over, you're going to re-engage with your purpose. You're going to start doing the hobbies that you used to do, activities that you used to love. Maybe reconnect with the relationships or friendships from the past. You're going to get back to your old self, and that's when you're actually going to find the happiness, and you're going to understand what I'm saying right now. How far you've came from your original identity in this relationship. How far you let it go. Like you don't even recognize yourself when you're looking back. Who was I in this relationship? Like this is not me. This is not my old self from the high school. I didn't joke the way I used to joke, etc. So choose growth over avoidance. Trust returns when you align action with self-respect and truth. So here, choose growth over avoidance is something I've been doing always. I mean, when I felt emotional pain, I was punishing myself on top of it because I wanted to see the limits. I went on a diet. I went to do more cardio. I was working out harder. I was winning bodybuilding competitions, etc. So I always overloaded myself with more and more pain, physical, with more stress like a diet, with more cardio, just so I can punish myself to prove to myself that this emotional pain that I'm currently feeling is not going to break me. So I feel the pain. So what the fuck? Is it going to break me? No. Bring it on. I'm going to take it on my chin. That was constantly my attitude. So I even pushed it a step further and step further just so I can prove to myself that I am stronger. Because, you're going to get to a point where your emotional tolerance or the pain tolerance has to increase at some point of your life. And as you're going through the pain, this tolerance increases more and more and more. So when you're feeling emotional pain, it is really a good time to set this emotional tolerance or pain tolerance really, really high. So that was my approach, and it worked very well. I mean, it sucked, but I was in the best shape of my life. And I actually came up with the slogan, breakups make the best bodybuilders, because at that time when I was a trainer, I was training in person hundreds of clients. I mean, I was doing boot camps and personal trainings all at the same time, living in the gym from morning till nighttime. And I saw the pattern. And people who came with the emotional pain got in their best shapes. They really did. They never had excuses why the diet didn't work. They never had excuses why they had to eat cheesecake and calamari. They just simply stuck to the program. And you got a woman who came in at 200 pounds after a divorce, just an absolute mess, psychological salad in her head. And 6 months in, she's down to 125, hot as hell. She reconnected with herself. She regained the internal strength and power. Okay, just because now she reconnected with her true purpose. People who were comfortable and everything was great in life, they might lose 10 pounds where they have to lose 50. But whatever, they lose 10 pounds, 12 pounds, then they go back to their old eating habits. Life is good. No reason for a change. But every time I got people after divorces and breakups, I saw them change tremendously. So I came up with the slogan, breakups make the best bodybuilders. So that was it for today's lesson, my beautiful friends. And I'm going to be live again tomorrow with another topic. Please hit like and subscribe on my channel.